6 in the afternoon here on 90.3 FM. You're listening to the Wednesday edition of Helping Seniors of Brevard. Normally, Kerry Fink, the Executive Director of Helping Seniors of Brevard, is here with us. He is not. I'm John Harper. Kerry is out on the first senior cruise, the Helping Seniors of Brevard cruise that set sail this past weekend, and they're cruising around the Caribbean, and we wanted to check in with Kerry to see what was going on with that cruise, and I know he's talking to some interesting people on board the ship, and he's filed several reports for us, so Jim, if we have that report ready, we'll catch up with Kerry Fink here in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to remind you that Helping Seniors of Brevard is heard every Wednesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock, right here on 90.3 FM. Right now, let's see if we can't see what Kerry Fink is experiencing on the 7 Seas as we check in with him. Kerry?
Well, thank you, John Harper, Kerry Fink, and Chris Morse, and we're here live from the MSC Divina as we are sailing away and enjoying a beautiful day at sea with all of our friends from the Helping Seniors Travel Club. How are you guys? Hey! And we all got on the ship, well, let's see, it was Sunday afternoon, right? Everybody been having a good time? So we would kind of describe this as we're sending you, John Harper, and everybody listening to 90.3 FM WEJF, kind of one of those postcards from sea, right, Chris?
Yes, a postcard from sea on the beautiful MSC Divina doing the Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation cruise. It's our very first cruise. If you all remember, we booked this in 2019. It was canceled in 2020, and now we're on board October 2021, and all of us have been cooped up for 18 months, and now we're on a ship.
Feel good to be back out to sea? You know, we were talking about this. Chris, we have talked for many years in the Helping Seniors organization about the importance of getting people from Brevard County together so that we could all get to know each other and have some good social interactions and things like that. And so the idea of the Helping Seniors Travel Club was born, like I said, right before COVID hit, and then everything got shut down. But, you know, we had a great event yesterday afternoon here, and it was really so much fun with we had a big group photo. If you go to the Helping Seniors Facebook page, you'll see that group photo that we took here with all these folks from Brevard County. And, you know, it's always fun when you go cruising because you meet great people, but then everybody flies home. This one flies to Seattle. This one flies back to Chicago, and you guys stay in touch by Facebook. But the beautiful thing is here, everybody can visit together, right, Chris?
It is so true, and what really happened yesterday is, normally speaking, when you have a big group and they all meet for one of the big events, starts at 2 o'clock, they do the rah-rah-rahs, everybody's happy. By 2:30, 3 o'clock, everybody's gone, they're back to their cabin. Our folks stayed and talked to each other until at least 4:30 yesterday. So getting to know your people, your friends in the Brevard County area, especially some of the people that brought their friends from some of their homesteads, it was really nice to see that people just stood around for 2.5 hours and shared time together.
Well, it's fun because we all share we all get the privilege of living in the lovely Brevard County area. And I mean, in my opinion, it's the best place in the world to live. But it's also important work we're doing on the ship, as it were. We're having fun, but this is also supporting the work of Helping Seniors. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in an upcoming segment. But for now, Chris Morse, you've got a lot of things that are coming up on the Helping Seniors Travel Club plans.
Yeah, we're planning 4 or 5 major cruises and tours next year. We're going to take seniors to Dubai for the World's Fair in February, which is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Wow.
I've been doing business for 35 years as a travel agent. This will be the most fantastic tour that I've ever produced and gone to. So that's and we're going to also try to produce what we call a multi-generational travel, which means that the grandparents don't take their kids, they take their grandkids on board this ship during this summer when school's out. So it's going to be a lot of fun for all of our seniors. And every one of these trips goes to help support Helping Seniors of Brevard Foundation, because we only use vendors that donate back part of their profits and proceeds back to Helping Seniors of Brevard. So it's a wonderful time to take a trip and also to support Helping Seniors of Brevard.
Absolutely, Chris. Hey, John, we're going to throw it back to you, and we're going to be back in a few minutes. We're going to actually talk with some of the folks who are here with us today as we broadcast live from the MSC Divina.
Kerry Fink, we thank you very much. It sounds like a lot of fun is being had there on board the ship. And I know a lot of fun as well takes place when you get to depart the ship and take the various tours and sightseeing events that are being offered on board that cruise. That's a fantastic cruise, the first one for Helping Seniors of Brevard. So this one is very special, and Chris Morse was very instrumental, our travel agent for Helping Seniors of Brevard, and also one of our correspondents on the Monday and Friday edition of the Information Overload Hour with Jim Votro and myself. And Chris has provided a lot of information as far as the travel industry for us as well and for our listeners. And we thank them for that report. And they will be back, I believe. Kerry Fink will be back toward the bottom of the hour, and he'll have another report for us, so we'll wait for that and check in. But right now we want to say good afternoon to our guests who are in the studio today. And ladies first, we have Tyler Runte with us. And Tyler, thanks for being with us. She is an attorney with the law office of Amy Van Fossen, and Tyler is an elder law attorney. Correct, Tyler?
That is correct. Thank you for having me today.
All right, you're welcome, Tyler, and get just a little bit closer to that mic. Just kind of swing that thing around however you feel more comfortable.
Is that a little bit better?
There you go. That's perfect. And also a familiar voice to Helping Seniors of Brevard. He's been on with us a couple of times, and that is Dr. Kevin Kilday. And Kevin, thanks for being with us as well.
Well, thanks for having me, John. Good afternoon, everyone.
All right, you're welcome. And I wish we could all be on board that ship right now. Sounds like they're having a good time out there.
Oh yeah, I'm jealous. You know, I'm a cruiser myself, and it's been a few years, but you know that they are a lot of fun, and I'm glad the industry's coming back.
I was just a couple of hours ago talking to someone in Orlando who's going to be taking his family on their first ever cruise. And he was all excited about it, and I told him you can't go wrong. Once you've been cruising, you never want to do anything else except cruise.
Right, exactly. You know, I mean, everything is inclusive.
Absolutely. And Tyler, have you ever been on a cruise?
I have, and I sure miss going on them. It's nice to hear and see people doing that again. Sounds like they're having a lot of fun. The next cruise I want to take is the Disney cruise. I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, so
they'll love it.
That's next on the list.
They'll love it. I think you'll love it because the kids will be occupied with Mickey and Minnie.
That's the plan.
And you and your husband are on the other end of the ship.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that will work out well. I've never taken a Disney cruise, but I have been on their ship for several of their ships for events when they've been in port, and they look pretty impressive.
I think so. I've never taken one either, but I've heard great things from friends.
Yeah.
So I think I'm sure Disney always does great. You can't go wrong with Disney, so I'm sure it's wonderful.
Absolutely, you can. Kevin, where did you take your best ever cruise?
The best one I ever took was Alaska.
I've been on that one too.
Flew out to Seattle,
and
then caught a cruise from Seattle, and there was 3 stops in Alaska and 1 in British Columbia, Canada.
Mine was when we took a cruise to St. Petersburg, Russia.
Oh wow!
And that was pretty impressive. Still I don't know if that can ever be topped. However, I've done a lot of barge cruises as well down the Elbe River in Germany and the Rhine River, and those have been impressive as well. Great way to go, great food.
Wow.
Can't beat it. Can't beat it. Tyler, where did you cruise to?
Most of mine have been to the Caribbean, and they're nice. I just love the all-inclusive idea of a cruise.
Yeah.
And the buffets.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
Oh, that's for sure. You can't beat the buffets that the cruise lines put out. And I understand from what we've been hearing from Chris Morse, our cruise industry expert, the cruise lines have gone above and beyond now, making sure that passengers are safe from COVID-19 and all types of precautions are in place. And probably the safest time ever to take a cruise right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Tyler, we wanted to first start with you and get into some of the things about elder law that you're involved with. First, tell us a little bit about yourself, though, Tyler, and how did you get interested in law and specifically elder law?
Sure. So I'm from Ocala. I was born and raised in Ocala. I went to undergrad at the University of Florida. I went to law school at Florida Coastal in Jacksonville. Shortly after law school, I was a public defender and in the courtroom quite a bit. And I just knew that I wasn't really cut out for the courtroom long term. I wanted to get out of the courtroom, and I found estate planning and elder law, and I've just loved it. It's nice being able to help families. They come in and have, a slew of issues that are going on, and our office just tries to help make sense of everything, get their documents in order, and just make them comfortable.
When you first started out being a public defender, that's going to be pretty difficult.
It was. It's very demanding. And
you had to wear a flak jacket, I'm sure, at times, right?
Yes. I certainly don't have to dress up as much now. But certainly it was, and I was in the courtroom almost every day, which I completely respect the people that do it. It's a lot. And I just knew that it wasn't where I wanted to be long term.
Well, we're glad that you're in elder law with the Amy Van Fossen law firm, and we'll talk a little bit more to you, Tyler, about some of the specifics about elder law. But Kevin Kilday, let's turn the microphone now to you. And first, with your background, how did you get started?
Well, I've been in various positions with various organizations over the years. I was a mental health tech for a dozen years with the Devereaux Foundation. I was a licensed, therapeutic foster parent for 14 years, and also an assistant pastor of a church for about 8 years. And their ministry, their main ministry, was helping the addicted, and we had a residential recovery program, and I was working, for the senior pastor in that in the addictions field. And,
was that here locally?
Yeah, it was. The church has since changed hands, and but it was right in the Melbourne Palm Bay border. It was right off of Liscombe. But unfortunately, things happen, and the senior pastor had to take a leave because of his elderly, ailing parents, and then the church, was sold. So, unfortunately, the program was closed down. But it gave me a mass amount of experience in the addictions field, which I still do help people, and I have a whole protocol on my website called Holistic Addictions Therapy.
Addiction's very difficult. I saw firsthand a couple of weeks ago. I was in, not here locally. I'm not saying it doesn't happen locally, but I happened to have been in the Plant City area. Plant City, known for their strawberries every year. And while I was there getting some gas, there was a guy shooting up right in the parking lot. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. The addictions right now, are really over mental health overall is at its peak right now. Like all the statistics are showing, substance abuse is up, mental health challenges are, illness and disorders are up, and it's a lot has to do with the COVID, because a lot of people didn't realize that when COVID started and all the churches started closing and cutting back, that's where a lot of the addicted in recovery met, to help each other. For the various organizations like AA and NA and stuff.
And then they didn't have that outlet.
And they didn't have that outlet, no. And it's very, very vital in an addicted person's recovery. Are those meetings, especially in the beginning. So as a result, and isolation with just for the general population overall, even alcohol sales skyrocketed during the quarantine and in isolation, and just the statistics overall, people, mentally and with substance abuse, all the statistics are showing a rise in it, but people are seeking out a lot of help, and there are a lot of new organizations out there.
Where, Kevin, does someone go when they need help? First of all, what if a person needs help and they don't recognize it? What do they do, number one? And number two, if you know someone who needs help, where do you send them? What do you do?
There are a lot of organizations out there. They can call me. I can try to help them with my program. If not, I'd be gladly refer them to another program that that maybe their insurance might cover or Medicaid might cover or something. But there is there is plenty of help out there. There are a lot of new rehabs out there. Inpatient, outpatient. The veterans have a number of programs, and
but are these rehab facilities that you're just mentioning, Kevin, are they good? Are they have they been checked out to where people should have confidence in them, or are they organizations that are just trying to take advantage of people in need?
Oh no. The medical industry has seen the rise in the statistics, and and these are legitimate run organizations that are covered by insurance. They have to meet insurance regulations and and be inspected, and have to have certified and licensed staff on board. So these are very legitimate organizations and rehabs out there.
All right, and we want to talk more about that, Kevin. We're going to be breaking in a moment to check in again with Kerry Fink and find out what is going on board the ship. He has another report that he filed for us. But before we do, Tyler, in your profession, in elder law, has COVID had any effect one way or the other that you've been able to track and witness for yourself in your law office?
Absolutely. It's had a huge impact. We're in the business of getting people's matters and affairs in order should something happen to them, and no one knows what's going to happen. Everyone's kind of in this state of, or has been in this state of panic and worry, and everyone's thinking, well, do I have my ducks in a row if something happens to me? So we have certainly seen a huge increase in clients coming in and just wanting to make sure all of their documents are in order. And furthermore, for instance, some of the most important estate planning documents, like a power of attorney, a living will healthcare surrogate, everyone does need those documents signed and executed, because should something happen to them, should they get sick, somebody needs to be in place to be able to handle their matters.
Well, we definitely, Tyler, want to talk more about some of the things you just mentioned here when we come back after our break here at the bottom of the hour. But first, we want to check in with Kerry Fink. And he filed a report for us on board the Helping Seniors of Brevard cruise that is currently underway. You're listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard. I'm John Harper. Our guest for this portion of the show, Tyler Runte from the law office of Amy Van Fossen and Dr. Kevin Kilday. And we'll be back with more of our conversation with those two folks in just a moment. But right now, let's check in with Kerry Fink. Well, maybe they're a little bit underwater there, Jim. We're waiting to see if we don't have that report. And should we hold off on that for now? Okay. All right. We'll hold off on that report and check in with Kerry Fink again in just a moment. But right now at 12:26 after the hour, Tyler Runte, you mentioned a moment ago how COVID-19 has been dramatically affecting your business, the business of elder law, and with your law firm associated with Amy Van Fossen here in Melbourne. Tell us about some of the things that people should be watching for, whether it be COVID or not. But as far as getting their, as they say, I guess in the business, getting their affairs in order, what should people be looking for?
Usually when a client comes in, we look to see if they have any documents, any prior documents, because you want to make sure everything is up to date. So if it's been some years since your documents were executed, you may want to update them. But I mean, the basics are everyone needs a power of attorney, someone to manage their financial or legal matters on their behalf if they can't. Everyone needs a living will to state whether they want to be kept on life support if certain circumstances were present. Everyone needs a healthcare surrogate, someone to make decisions for you in the healthcare medical field if you can't make them for yourself. And then, of course, a will, possibly a trust, because you want to make sure the beneficiaries that you wish to inherit from you do when you pass away. You've also, in those documents, named someone to manage your estate or administer your estate when you pass away. So all of those documents are really important. And usually when a client comes in, we discuss those, explain the reason for all of them, and depending on what decisions they make, what documents they go with, then we go kind of to the second step of retitling assets based on if you created a trust, possibly deeding your property into your trust. But that's kind of the basics.
Tyler, do you find that a lot of people are somewhat hesitant about sitting down with you and your colleagues with coming up with a last will and testament? Is that something kind of like buying insurance? People don't necessarily want to do that.
I don't think so. I think that people, once they schedule an appointment and come into our office, they're pretty committed. I think that people let it go for a long time and don't, maybe make an appointment or don't really think about these things. Sometimes we say, you can't wait till it's too late. That's the biggest problem we run against is, once someone reaches incapacity, then they can no longer sign documents, and our hands are kind of tied as to how much we can help them once someone is incapacitated or has a medical issue, putting them in the hospital. But that's what we're always striving to get out there in the community is don't wait till it's too late. Get your documents signed now. You never know. No one has a crystal ball, especially with COVID. We don't know what's going to happen, so you need to have everything done now.
All right, that's Tyler Runte. Tyler is with the Amy Van Fossen law firm here in Melbourne. Also, the other voice you just heard a moment ago was that of Dr. Kevin Kilday. And Kevin and Tyler will both be back with us right after we take our bottom of the hour break. We'll check in with our weather forecast and also find out what's happening with, do we have... Kerry Fink. Let's go ahead and see if we have Kerry Fink right now.
Thanks, John Harper. We've been enjoying listening to the radio show here at Sea because, we all got free Wi-Fi on board. So we're able to hear the show actually as it goes along, and welcome all the listeners, both on 90.3 FM, WEJF, and also those listening online at WEJF.net. And Chris, we're having so much fun visiting with guests on board the ship. What a great group. Everybody's from Brevard County. Everybody's getting to know each other. We all having a good time on the ship, guys? And Chris, you got a special friend. We didn't know we had a comic booked on board.
I know. I didn't know either until probably Sunday night when she just broke out and everybody just started to laugh. And we love to have you on board. What would you like to say to the listeners that are listening to you? Say something funny.
I'll tell you what, I really am enjoying this cruise because I have never in my life been on a cruise where my girlfriend Marie told me, Diane, I went down to the liquor store and I forgot to pack my toothbrush. Do you know you can buy a toothbrush down there at the liquor store? And not only that, you can get a pregnancy test. Oh, thank God, at 84 years old, I need to get this right away.
So, Chris, you know what, we were talking with our friend here and talking about the fact that she has a long history and career in show business working with folks like Roy Rogers.
I know. Hopefully we all remember Roy Rogers, Dale Evans, and the famous horse
Trigger.
And I know you worked with Roy, so say something really nice about Roy, maybe some of the museum, maybe. I'd like to know more about Dale.
Well, Dale Evans, of course, wrote the book Angel Unaware. They had Little Robin, and I donated that book to, there's an attorney for seniors, Roy Altman, is that his name, from Altman Trucking, and he donates his time to the senior citizens. And when I went to see him about my mother's estate, he said, come into my office, and I went back there, and he had all this Roy Rogers memorabilia. Oh. So Dale had autographed a book, to me from Robin, about Robin, Angel Unaware, and I gave it to Roy.
Some really fascinating information from way back when.
I was just thinking, this is what's fun when you get together with a group like this, because you never know what blessings you're going to have meeting people on board. Everybody making good friends as we go around the ship? Yeah! So the only thing missing here is you, and we're going to be talking about some of the, next week on the Helping Seniors radio show, we're going to be back and we'll be talking about some of the upcoming cruises and different travel experiences that Chris and his partner Betty are putting together for us in 2022. The beautiful thing is it's a great chance to go traveling with friends. More importantly, maybe as importantly, traveling with somebody, a couple of people that really know the travel business and have the experience to make it simple, safe, and convenient for you to travel. And that would be Chris and Betty with the Helping Seniors Travel Club. And then, of course, the great thing is just seeing all the amazing things that are out there to see now that we have the capacity to be able to go back and travel again. So, John, that's going to call it for this session. We're going to be back with yet another session as we're talking with Ruth Rhodes, who is one of our partners and board member, actually, also just like you, Chris Morse, in the Helping Seniors Network. So we'll be back in just a bit. Thanks, John.
Thank you, Kerry Fink. We appreciate that. Good report from the ship and the first Helping Seniors of Brevard cruise. And I know there are going to be many others planned in the new year, and that's something to look forward to. It should be a lot of fun, and hopefully all of you listening can get on board, and I might try to stow away as well on a slow boat to China or something like that, right? But anyway, we'll get back to our in-studio guests, Tyler Runte and Dr. Kevin Kilday, in just a moment. But first, let's check that beautiful weather forecast for the Space and Treasure Coast for the next couple of days. Plenty of sunshine for today with a high right around 82, which actually is where we are at right now. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 72. Tomorrow's high with plenty of sunshine, 83. 73 for the low Thursday night. On Friday, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain, a little bit warmer with a high of 84. Friday night, partly cloudy, a low of 74. On Saturday, a 20% chance of rain with a high of 84. Saturday night, partly cloudy with a low of 74. And for Sunday, a 40% chance of rain, partly sunny skies on Sunday with a high of 82 degrees. Right now, at report time, relative humidity very comfortable. It's now down to 51%. Wind out of the east at 13 miles per hour. The barometer 30.2, 100 inches and steady, and with plenty of sunshine. Mark the mercury right now around the Space and Treasure Coast at 82. That's 82 degrees right here on 90.3 FM. You're listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard. I'm John Harper. Tyler Runte is with us from the law office of Amy Van Fossen. And we also have Dr. Kevin Kilday, a familiar voice to our listeners, been with us many times. We'll be back with more of our conversation with those folks and also check in again with Kerry Fink on board the Helping Seniors of Brevard cruise. But first, let's listen to this. 12:36 in the afternoon here on 90.3 FM. You're listening to Helping Seniors of Brevard, the Wednesday edition. I'm John Harper, and Kerry Fink is not here today because he's out on the first Helping Seniors of Brevard cruise that is taking place right now. I believe we had over 45 people sign up for that cruise, so that's pretty impressive, especially for our first one. And there will be many more coming up in the new year, so just be listening to us, and we'll get that information out as soon as it is published, and we'll see what we can do to get you on board as well. But right now, on board in studio with us, we have Tyler Runte from the Amy B. Van Fossen Law Firm. Elder Law is what they specialize in, and Dr. Kevin Kilday. And Kevin, let's for a moment turn our attention right now to Thanksgiving, the Bible, the pandemic, and what can we do?
Yes, that's the title of my latest article that's coming out in the November issue of Senior Scene magazine, and the Bible does reference many verses about Thanksgiving and thanking God. If you don't mind, I'll just mention one that's in the article. It's from Psalm 69, verse 30. It's, I will praise God's name in song and glorify him with thanksgiving. But the Bible is loaded with plenty. I lost count, but there's many verses about Thanksgiving in the Bible. If you are indeed a believer and you read the Bible on a steady basis.
Well, Kevin, how does the COVID-19 and the pandemic come into play in this?
Well, Thanksgiving is a time to be around family, and it's also a time to be grateful for the things in our lives. And this has been a very, very tough year, really for everybody. With this ongoing pandemic, people might be grieving right now, unfortunately, for the loss of loved ones and family members, because of the pandemic. So this might not be a great time to celebrate, for them, unfortunately. But again, you can find comfort in the Bible, and if your grief gets to be too much, seek help, with a mental health person, and to get through that, because grieving is a process.
We talked in our last segment, Kevin, about seeking out professional help for depression, substance abuse, many other things that people are coming in contact with now. And apparently the pandemic has really brought many of those issues to the surface, and many people are unaware, uninformed as to how to handle those issues. What would you advise?
Well, the first and foremost, if you have any thoughts of hurting yourself or hurting someone else, you need to seek help. Even call 911 or call your family physician, call your pastor. Just pick up the phone. When I was in the addictions field, I used to tell everybody that was in the middle of their or the beginning of their recovery, before you pick up a drink or before you pick up a drug, pick up the phone. Okay, so that's very important. The phone is available to everybody today, and there are many 800 numbers out there, or like I said, call your family doctor, call 911, call your pastor, call anybody.
But Kevin, many times people are in total denial that they have a problem. How do you help someone like that?
Well, yes. If we're talking about the disease of addiction, it is a very complicated disease. First and foremost, the person really has got to admit that they have a problem with addiction. Otherwise, it's just going to be futile for the people helping them, for their family, and for that person. They really have to, recognize there's a problem, admit there's a problem, and really put your life in a professional's hands. That's really what the simplest way I can put it. But when it comes to the other mental health issues, with depression is running rampant right now. Because people are just know because of this pandemic we're not going to get back to the normal the way it was prior to March of 2020. All right, we're actually in a new normal, so it's taken a lot of adjustments. I know people that are just have cut back on socializing and cut back on even going out to stores or.
Well, it has certainly changed. The pandemic has changed the way we live, the way we do daily business, even social activities. It's dramatically different. And I know the wearing of the mask, Jim Votro and myself, I think we talk about that every week on our program, how important that is. But so many people are totally ignoring the safety guidelines, and they're getting a false sense of security.
Yes, that is true. But I really believe that this vaccine mandate is going to get as controversial as Roe versus Wade. I really do. There's a lot of people out there, that and Roe versus Wade, in case anybody doesn't know, is the abortion issue. But the vaccine mandate, is all it breaks down to individual rights. It breaks down to safety. It's a very difficult thing. But as far as wearing masks go, my personal opinion, I wear it even though I've been vaccinated. Whenever I go out to areas that I'm not familiar with or around people I'm not familiar with, I wear the mask. So I just gotten used to it. I mean, it's a pain, but I just feel for my personal safety and for the safety of people around me, I choose to wear the mask, and I'm also vaccinated. So,
Kevin, if people want more information from you as to how you might be able to help them, what's a good contact number or a website?
Yes, my company's name is Holistic Health Center, and the website is holistichealthcenter.us. That's holistichealthcenter.us. And the phone number is 321-549-0711. That's 321-549-0711. And if I don't answer the phone, you just get a voicemail, and I always try to call back within 24 hours.
All right, and if our listeners may not have had the opportunity to get that information that Kevin just gave out here, we'll again repeat that at the end of the show coming up in about 15 minutes. Right now we want to turn to Tyler Runte. We've been talking to Tyler about elder law. She is an expert because she's with the Amy Van Fossen law firm that specializes in elder law. And Tyler, let's pick up with the conversation about the pandemic, and you said that has caused a lot of people to increase their awareness of trying to make sure that their affairs are in order. Is that correct?
That is definitely correct. And I want everyone to know, we are definitely taking all the precautions in the office so you can feel comfortable coming in. We try to be as safe as possible and respect everyone's concerns, and so we definitely are taking the precautions.
That's good to know, and those precautions are something that many of us are looking for and like to frequent those companies, the businesses that go the extra mile to ensure that not only are their employees safe, but their customers are as well. That's very important, and that means a lot and speaks well of your law firm.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, tell us a little bit about some of the other areas of elder law that sometimes people may overlook or not even be aware of. What comes to your mind on those areas?
Sure. So our office, I personally specialize in estate planning, but our office does a lot of different types of law under the elder law umbrella. We do guardianship, public benefits planning, which entails VA benefits, Medicaid planning. We also do case management and probate as well. So if you have a loved one that passed away and need to figure out if you need to go through the probate process or if their beneficiary is designated on certain bank accounts, how a property is titled, we can help work you through that process.
What about, Tyler, a business? If someone has owned a business, they pass away, does that business automatically go to their survivors?
It depends on a lot of factors. So we can look at what documents are in place, what business documents are in place, what sort of estate planning documents are in place to determine how that goes, whether it needs to go through the probate process, but we can definitely help you through that.
All right. And if people want that additional help, how do they, Tyler, get in touch with you and your law firm?
Our phone number is 321-345-5945. Again, that's 321-345-5945. And our website is amybvanfossen.com.
All right, so again, that information, if our listeners did not have a chance to write that down, we will repeat it again at the end of the hour to make sure that everyone has the information on how to contact Tyler Runte with the Amy Van Fossen law firm. So we'll check in with more of Tyler and with Kevin in just a moment. But right now we want to find out what is happening again on the Helping Seniors of Brevard cruise. There are about 45 sailors out there, so to speak, from Brevard County who have taken the cruise. And let's see what is in store for our sailors on board the cruise this afternoon.
Thanks, John Harper, and greetings once again from the beautiful MSC Divina. We have the pleasure of being broadcasting live from the ship, and wow, what a beautiful day it is today, right, folks?
Oh, yeah.
This is the Helping Seniors Travel Club, basically like 45, 50 of us on board with this group, and this really represents kind of because you guys are going to invite friends the next time, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So we're having a great time on board. We are on our way to Cozumel, and then we'll be visiting Costa Maya and back to the MSC Ocean Cay Marine Preserve. So I'm so excited on this segment. We have the privilege of having with us on the ship none other than Ruth Rhodes. Now, Ruth Rhodes is an expert elder law attorney in the area, has been friends with the Helping Seniors Network for a number of years. She also volunteers her time, sits on the board with us to help us do good things in the community. How are you guys doing? You having fun?
Oh, yeah, we're having a wonderful time. I brought my husband with me, and we're practically on our honeymoon, so we've been enjoying our honeymoon since April.
I love it. It's good. It's so nice to be back out and being able to travel once again, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, we're loving it. And this ship, oh my gosh, so beautiful and so elegantly decorated. We're just enjoying every part of it.
You know, I was going to say, one of the things we do, the serious part of what we do is helping seniors for 10 years now. We've operated the County Senior Information Helpline, which is a free call at 321-473-7770. That's 321-473-7770. And we've helped more than 4,000 families free of charge. You know, sometimes it's the senior themselves. Sometimes it's the adult children of a senior who are worried about helping mom or dad because something is starting to become a problem. And oftentimes it could be just a concerned neighbor saying, hey, the lady down the street, I'm really worried for her. What can we do? And so that's our job. We try to find the right solution to the various problems. And yeah, it's complex because we often use the term like growing older is on-the-job training. So about the best you can do is study a little bit ahead of time. Joe has a term, he calls it making an aging plan, which is the idea that, much like we all live in Florida, right? So we understand when they tell us you got to make a hurricane plan. So it's kind of like, let's put together some things so we get ahead of the curve. And that is really the serious part of what we do at Helping Seniors and help people in all of those areas. But this is the fun part where we get to have socialization. Years ago we did a survey and we were asking what's the top 10 needs of seniors in Brevard County. And not surprisingly, getting good medical help and things like that were really at the top of the list. But I was really surprised to see that the fourth most reported item was socialization. I want to interact. I want to meet people. I want to be part of a community. And that's what's so cool about this whole travel experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's a really great group, and I've really enjoyed, and so has Ed, really enjoyed getting to know some of the other passengers that have been part of the group, and we really have been having a great time, and we're really thankful for Chris for all the work that he's done in getting this organized. I know it was quite the ordeal, especially with the changing rules, but he did a great job, and it all came together nicely.
Yeah, I was going to say this would be one of those things. Don't try this on your own, right? Because it was so confusing. They kept adjusting things almost every day. But that's the benefit of having the wisdom of Chris and Betty, who have done this for so many years, and they know all the ropes, who to call. And that's kind of like what Helping Seniors is. It's the same idea. You call somebody who knows what to do in a given situation.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is all about. So, John Harper, we're going to be back in a few minutes with more of the Helping Seniors crew from right here on the MSC Divina as we're sailing on our way to Cozumel.
Thank you, Kerry Fink. We appreciate it, and sounds like they're having a great time on board that ship. Wish we all could be there with them, but don't fear, because there are going to be a lot of great cruises and events coming up for all of our listeners of Helping Seniors of Brevard, and stay tuned for that, because the new year is going to present a lot of wonderful opportunities and a situation where everyone can take advantage of the camaraderie, the great prices that will be available to sail on the many different cruises that are coming up. And it's going to be exciting, a lot of fun. We'll be talking more about that as time goes on. But right now, time is moving on for our Wednesday show here. And our guest in studio, Dr. Kevin Kilday, and also Tyler Runte. And Tyler, we were talking before we went to the break, and got an update there from Kerry Fink on board the ship. But what are some of the things that people need to do to ensure that they are properly documented, they have everything in place with estate planning? When you mention estate planning, what exactly does that mean, and what are you looking for from your side of the table of an attorney, an elder law attorney, and what about your clients?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is getting informed. So setting an appointment with an elder law attorney or an estate planning attorney and learning what all you need to have in place, because a lot of people don't know. There's also a lot of common misconceptions out there with estate planning. If I have a will, I don't have to go to probate, for instance. There's just things out there that may not be so, and you just need to learn. That's step one. Make an appointment with an attorney's office, learn, find out what documents are necessary, and are documents that everyone should have, and then go from there. Our job is to educate, and then you decide what you want to move forward with.
And it's important, Tyler, I think, to point out that a person doesn't have to have $1 million to do that. I mean, just a small amount. We're not talking about legal fees. We're talking about how much money they have to give to their family members and things like that, or estate or real estate and things like that, right?
Absolutely. So that's another common misconception. Yeah. I need all this money to have documents in place, or a will, or a trust, and that's not the case at all. It's what everyone needs. And it's important for everyone to have. And I will say, our office is holding a trust funding seminar on October 28th, which would be good for anyone that has a trust but isn't sure if it's properly funded. If you have a trust and you don't fund it properly, the trust could be essentially useless. You have to make sure your assets are titled correctly. So if that's of any interest to anyone, that is October 28th at our office.
What about Tyler Life Insurance Trust?
That's another type of trust. There are lots of different types of trusts out there, and we can help you out with all of them.
All right, and again, that event, that seminar coming up at the end of this month, next week. What's the date and time on that?
October 28th. The best thing to do if you want to sign up for that is call our office, 321-345-5945, to sign up for that. The next one is the trust funding seminar, but we also hold estate planning seminars, Medicaid seminars, so you can either go to our website or call our office to find out more information on any of those types of seminars.
All right, Tyler Runte with the Amy Van Fossen Law Firm. And once again, Tyler, give us that phone number for the law firm.
321-345-5945.
All right, and the website?
amybvanfossen.com.
Excellent. Tyler, you've been great. Thanks for your help and your information. We're glad to have had you on the show. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Dr. Kevin Kilday, in our final moment, how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, I can be reached at 321-549-0711. And my website is holistichealthcenter.us. And if I just may add real quickly, with the Thanksgiving and the holiday season coming up, reach out to your family, your friends, and anybody with disabilities or mental health issues or anything. Just reach out to them, write them an email, send them a text, do a video chat with them, and just tell them how grateful you are for having them in your life.
And Kevin, are we invited to your home for Thanksgiving?
No, I don't have enough room, sir.
No, it sounds like some good information as far as getting family members to reach out and let loved ones know that they are important, they're remembered, and they're very special. And again,
that's right. It's very difficult during the holiday season for a lot of
It is,
people.
and we're entering into a very difficult period. On top of that, the pandemic, as we've been talking, we'll get into more of that as we continue here on the, I was going to say the Information Overload Hour. That's our other show, but here on Helping Seniors of Brevard. Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate your time here as well. And again, Tyler Runte, we thank you for being with us. Both of our guests, very well respected here in the community, and we appreciate their time and their efforts to be in the studio here with us on this Wednesday. I'm John Harper, filling in for Kerry Fink. He will be back next week. And don't forget, Helping Seniors of Brevard is heard every Wednesday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock, right here on 90.3 FM. Thanks for being with us on this Wednesday, a beautiful day. Make it a great afternoon, and we will talk to you soon here on Helping Seniors of Brevard.